So I'm going to just chat for about 14 minutes until we have our break, just about some other unique fundraising events, and then I'm going to go off script. Sorry, guys, but and sort of talk about some of the thoughts and questions that I've gotten in the background that I haven't been able to be answered today. But I wanted to share some other. So we talked about, as you can all read on the screen here. We talked about online bingo and trivia and those kinds of games. We've talked about that a little bit as being a possible good, unique fundraising event. Photo contest, the Go Pet Photo with the calendar. And there's an organization called Giving Grid that I know Sandy Reese is familiar with. And they do it. You basically select a block and you donate a block to fill out a picture, and you can raise money that way. So I wanted to just mention Giving Grid as an option and being willing to think outside of the box while we're in this sort of new age of fundraising and being willing to try new things. Now, kitten yoga is hard to do in the COVID world, and I was actually thinking too, it could be hard to do in areas, well, it is hard to do in areas where we don't have a lot of kittens because our kittens get adopted so fast. So I was thinking about like crabby lady yoga, but you could think, so getting those sort of the crabby old cats into the yoga studio, but the ones that are really hard for us to adopt that, but they might not want to come do a yoga class. But if we do it virtually, then as a Zoom class and you have the old cats doing it, I don't know about you, but whenever I tried to do yoga when I had Hooch here, he was always in my face and in my way. So maybe that's something to try as a virtual yoga event. Another thing for everybody to think about with regards to fundraising, and no one is really specifically presenting this today, but I think it's important. Fee for services is revenue generation. So, as we look at our programs, and I know we have a lot of programs and we say donation only and that kind of thing too, but we can have programs that generate fees. And I know a lot of the larger organizations, they will generate fees for behavioral training classes, kitten training classes, kitten kindergartens, also, summer camps, and summer camps were done virtually this year with a lot of groups. And that levels the playing field. So smaller organizations can do educational online events at the same level and same quality as a larger organization, and you can market to that larger group. And so you can really, I think this is an opportune time for us, meaning us as animal welfare organizations, whether we are big or small, to really like I said, level that playing field from the adoption side of things with our cats being in foster homes for large and for smaller organizations. Adoptions have really changed a bit dynamically, where some of the foster-based organizations were able to adapt maybe a little bit more quickly to the changing environment and able to adopt out more kitties than usual. So just thinking outside of the box, is there something that I can provide that would be something that, even it's a $10 registration, and that would be a way to raise some revenues. I mean, think about how can you make some money doing the good work that you're doing, and so that you don't have to create something special. So I don't want to take that off the table because I think that's really important. Another thing, I know that there are quite a few people that are attending today that are not 501c3 organizations, and they're on their own, and they're just trying to raise private donations for their own efforts and taking care of cats out there primarily. And so you can accept donations from individuals. Anybody can give you money to help with your program, and you can do it through your own personal relationships. You can, do it. You can do things like, in certain cases, obviously you have to check with each state for their rules, but some cases you can do, the GoFundMe campaigns or a donation jar, that kind of thing. And, those are options for you. A stronger option is to affiliate yourself with a nonprofit if they would let you become affiliated with them and seek donations to help support the work that you're doing. And then as a final, if you are thinking about becoming a 501c3, organization. They're actually Julie Jacobson, who runs our Community Cats Grants program, is a great resource. And there is a foundation that will help with some of your startup costs for the paperwork with the IRS. And she knows the link to that group. But so for folks that are like on their own and they're looking for suggestions, there are lots of ways of doing it. You just have to figure out what's the best way. I definitely would recommend you reaching out to a local rescue group, a local group to partner with, and really, see if you can work collaboratively together. But if you can't, you certainly can pass the virtual hat as well as the physical hat to try and seek some donations. Unfortunately, with regards to food donations, if you want to try and reach out to a retailer for food donations, I don't believe you'll be successful unless you have a relationship with a 501c3 organization. But you should always try the human food pantries as well as pet food pantries in your area. Even if a human food pantry or a local church, even if they don't accept pet food, they might be willing to write a letter on your behalf to a local grocery store, and they would probably give you like a $50 gift card to help with doing that. We've started in Massachusetts, we've started the Pet Food Task Force, and it's all run basically virtually with about 50 volunteers. And we have a couple of 501c3 partners for specific areas of the state. But we get a lot of like $50 gift certificates that way through approaching retailers, which we've approached like 150 retailers, and we support 250 human food pantries. And that's all been started since the beginning of COVID. And we're supporting many locations with several thousands of pounds of pet food each week, as well as cat litter. I'm going to just take a quick scan in the questions box in case people have any. My other strategy recommendation is I highly recommend, if people are feeling overwhelmed with how their time is being spent and they feel like they just don't have a moment of time to do anything, is that they start using Top Tracker or a time tracking service, because I found it extremely beneficial to know how my time is being spent, and it really helps me work more efficiently. I also use I do use a planner type thing, and it's just really good to block out your time and know how you're spending your time, because you'll be amazed to find out you thought you were spending your time this way, but you're really spending it that way. And then at the end of each week, you should ask yourself, what have I accomplished? What were my like big 3 tasks that I wanted to get done this week? And then, make sure, did you get them actually done? And really stay focused on the tasks that you want to do. I think time management is actually an incredible key to our success, because if you can stack your habits or your job, so like if you're in your car watching a trap, waiting for a cat to get in that trap, what can you do in the car that's maybe helping your fundraising efforts? Can you do phone calls or some emails virtually with a hotspot on or something, so that you're overlapping your tasks and batching your work. So you're doing like the same stuff at one time and you're not bouncing from one topic to another to another. So don't follow the shiny objects. Stay and do your stuff in one place. So I'll like record my podcast. I'll record like 6 podcasts in a day. So, and then I'll have a month and a half of podcasts done, but it'll all be done in one day, and it's all the same like motion and stuff. So if there's a way for you to batch your work, it really won't feel so incredibly overwhelming. So I just wanted to share some of these thoughts with you. And time tracker is, I'll put the app, it's like time total. I'll put the app in the chat box for you. It's a free app. You can use it in groups too. And I found that to be great. I've started using the Crew app also with the Pet Food Task Force. And so if we trying to transport food from like a retailer to a food pantry, we do it all in that Crew app, so we're not sending 150 emails to each other and filling up our email box. And we've divided the state out by county, so that then we have the volunteers are just in their dedicated counties that they, can travel in, so they don't see all the emails too, or all the text messages. So if you do manage a group of volunteers, I think the Crew app is really great. But I will put that in the notes too.